Clouds. Often we don't think much about them unless they give us something. They give us shade, or snow, or sleet, or ice. Oftentimes they bring us wind. In the Bible, clouds often show up when there's about to be a new covenant. In creation, the Spirit of God was moving on the face of the waters. And then came the parting of the clouds, and light came to the surface of the earth. Also, in the story of Noah, the clouds parted, and Noah saw the rainbow. When the temple began, a cloud came. When the tabernacle was finished, the cloud came. The cloud known as the Shekinah, bringing the presence of God visibly to his people. Likewise, in the Gospel of Luke, in Luke's account of the Transfiguration, he says, about 8 days after these sayings, Jesus took with him Peter and John and James, and went up the mountain to pray. And while he was praying, the appearance of his face changed, and his clothes became dazzling white. And suddenly they saw two men, Moses and Elijah, talking with him. They appeared in glory and were speaking of his departure, which he was about to accomplish in Jerusalem. Now Peter and his companions were weighed down with sleep. Have you ever been like that? You're tired, it's been a long day, and you know these things are happening that are great. Inside you're like, It's like, yes, that's my Moses and Elijah there, but I'm tired, I'm sleepy. It sometimes takes an effort to rise to the occasion. They saw his glory, and they saw the two men. And just as they were leaving, Peter said to Jesus, Master, it's good for us to be here. Let us make 3 dwellings, one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah. He didn't really know what he was saying. If it had been up to Peter, he would have said, let's stay a while. I want to hear more about the law. I want to hear more about the prophets. And Jesus, we're going to hear more about you too. But let's all 3 stay here. And then came the cloud. Then came the cloud. Just like in the days of Noah, Noah didn't know if there was going to be more wrath, more destruction. But then came the cloud after the waters had subsided. Not a cloud that said, now for round 2. A cloud that said, peace for a while. Peace. When the tabernacle came, then came the cloud. Not the cloud that would say, another plague on us, but no, a cloud that said, God is here. God has chosen this place. God has chosen this people. Here, Peter wanted to be accompanied by Moses and Elijah as long as he could. But then came the cloud. With the cloud, there came a voice that said, this is my son, my chosen. Listen to him. And then it went away. When they looked back, there was Jesus alone. They kept silent in those days, told no one any of the things they had seen. Oftentimes, you might want to be like the legalists who say, we want to keep all the laws of Moses. Well, do you really? Do you want to keep the law that said you can't travel more than 2,000 feet, steps on the Sabbath? Do you really want to keep the law that said stone to death those who work on the Sabbath, or those who prepare to do work? If you start a fire on the Sabbath, does somebody come along and stone you? Because whenever you turn a light switch, you start a fire. You want to be like the prophets who said that those who worship false gods must be killed? Do you want to go around killing people? Well, you might want to, but Christ instructs us to be kind. He instructs us to respect people's conscience. Christ calls us to be like him. Yes, there are days when we ought to use a whip and maybe turn over some tables. We have to call people to do spiritual things. We have to call people to man up. For everything there's a time and a purpose. When Christ comes, there's time for Moses and the prophets to go. And we're left with Jesus alone. As you meditate about this message from the Gospel of Luke, remember, there's a time when Jesus is enough. All things have passed away. Behold, the new has come. Amen.